Hey guys, Mark here. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I made just over $1 million in the last 30 days with quiz funnels. So quiz funnels are absolutely destroying right now, but the funny thing is most people don't actually understand why they're destroying. It's not because they are personalized. It's not because they perfectly match the product to your customer's desires, like based off what they answer, it's perfectly going to go to the exact product that they want. And it's not because it magically increases your AOV. It's literally none of these things. The real reason that quiz funnels destroy right now is because you are essentially taking your target customer and putting them into what's called an emotionally primed state. It isn't just the fact that you have a quiz that makes quizzes so powerful. It's the exact state that you're able to get your customer in before you ever throw an offer in their face. Because what most people do is they'll have an ad and just immediately drive people straight to the product page or straight to the sales page, right? It's just like, hey, buy my shit, buy my shit, buy my shit. But instead of doing that with quizzes, you can basically play with all these emotions and actually do these really cool things that I'm going to show you in this video to get a customer so much more ready to purchase compared to just sending them directly to a sales page. And every great quiz funnel, like the ones that are scaling to multiple 7 figures, some of them even 8 figures per month, they all do 3 things. Thing number 1 is they get what's called micro commitments. Now, this is one of the reasons that quiz funnels are so powerful, because every single time you get a customer that is saying yes or no, answering a question, moving a slider on the quiz, you're actually getting them one step closer to a sale. Just that tiny little movement that they use when they're on their phone to click yes or to click the next question, every single one of those is a step in the right direction towards a sale. And what you can do is you can actually get your customers in this really hypnotic state. When you get them saying yes, 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 so many times in a row in this hypnotic manner, you're getting them in a highly suggestible state before you ever put your offer, your product in front of them. The second thing that every amazing quiz funnel needs is going to be the concept of seeding. Now, seeding, if you think about planting a seed, that's basically exactly what it is. Seeding is basically where you can subconsciously influence people's beliefs to align with beliefs that align with buying your product, right? So what I mean by that is every single customer that comes into your business at any point in time, they have a set of beliefs, right? You have beliefs, I have beliefs, we all got beliefs. But I believe that marketing at its core is simply a game of belief change, which means your job is to take the existing beliefs that your customer has and align them with the beliefs that would prompt them to buy the product, right? Everything is just changing their belief. And seeding is a way that you can subconsciously insert beliefs directly into their subconscious brain so that when they do get to your sales page, they have their credit cards out and they're ready to throw it at their freaking screen because they're so hungry to buy. You basically remove all of the potential friction between them and the sale. And then the third and final thing that every great quiz funnel does is it does what's called pre-handling objections. So this is actually taken from a sales mentor of mine who had this idea of pre-handling objections, right? So if I were to have a sales call with somebody, how can I say something that would handle an objection before it ever comes up, right? This is also a copywriting principle. The best copywriters, they don't do objection handling at all, because all of them are already handled before the offer is ever put in front of their face. So I actually want to show you guys a really good example of a brand that is running quiz funnels very, very successfully. A lot of times, if you're looking for inspiration, obviously you can look on Get Hooked, but you want to look specifically within the health niche, because those are the niches that are just rolling with quiz funnels right now. So here we have a particular weight loss product, and look at volume these guys are doing, man, over 5 million visits every single month. I mean, just think about the sheer amount of people that have gone through this freaking quiz. So I'm going to go through immediately starts with the male or female question, and then we're going into the goals, and then we're going into eating habits. How often do you eat fermented foods? Have you gained weight in the past year? What diets have you tried in the past year? Do you experience any of the following symptoms? Now, I'm going to pause right here, right? I don't know if you guys noticed, but one of the important principles when it comes to building successful quiz funnels is, yes, you do want to get people into that hypnotic state where they're saying yes, 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 but you also want to switch up the variations of questions that you're asking. For example, I won't have more than 2 or 3 questions in a row that are the same format, right? So if I were to go and start this quiz over, the first format that we see is a basically selector, right? So you can select multiple options in order to move to the next question. And also notice when you select something, it also changes the overall color of that selection, right? So one thing that I try to do in my quizzes is make them as dopamine inducing as humanly possible. It shouldn't just be click a button, click a button, and click a button. It should be you click a button and it releases dopamine. So I'll almost imagine if you could have little confetti cannons go off every time you select something, right? So we have the multiple selector. Here we just have a multiple choice, another multiple choice, now to a yes, no, right? So notice they're switching up the formats, which is a really good practice. Now a multiple selector again, Yes, I have constipation. Multiple selector once again, and boom. This is the perfect way to explain, like, this is essentially one of the seeding elements that they do. So, I obviously haven't done research on this brand, but what I'm going to show you how to do is actually identify the existing set of beliefs that your customers have, and then how to shift those through the quiz. So this is what's called like an intra-quiz card. And in these cards, you can have things that actually overcome beliefs and pre-handle objections, get them one step closer to the sale. So if I continue there, you fill in the age, I'm 55, fill in the height, 55, 555 centimeters, fucking hell, 220 centimeters, whatever the fuck that is. I don't know. I measure in freedom units. Next question is, how much weight do we want to lose? I don't fucking know any of this, but let's just say that's it. God damn it. Fuck. All right, there we go. Bro, I can't. I can't even get through this fucking quiz because I'm messing up the questions. Anyways, you get the fucking point, right? So the cool thing about quiz funnels as well, these are the 3 things that you need, like I said, but look, I'll be super candid with you all. There is always a limited window of opportunity with new funnel architectures like this, all right? First it was advertorials, then it was VSLs. Right now, quiz funnels are destroying, and you have a very limited of time to milk it for all that it's worth and just scale your brand to the absolute next fucking level. So you need to have some fucking urgency, crack this while the opportunity is still there, because typically these things don't last for super long. Now, I know you're thinking, Mark, I saw an example. I know I need these 3 weird things that you talked about, but like, how do I actually come up with the questions? Well, so glad you asked. So I'm going to show you how to do that using AI, because who likes to think around here? I haven't thought an original thought in years. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is develop your foundational docs. If you're new to my channel, this is, something that I'm known for sure, but essentially this is the deepest level that you can possibly understand your customer, your market, and your offer. And anytime I'm writing new copy, anytime I'm building a new funnel, I always start with this as a foundation. That's why it's called the foundational doc. So if you want this SOP, I'll link it in the description. But ultimately what you're gonna have after you go through this entire process with AI is you're gonna come out with 4 documents that look a little something like this, right? We have an offer doc, avatar doc, a research doc, and then also a beliefs doc. Now we're going to head over to trusty ChatGPT 5 and write a simple prompt. You guys can feel free to pause the video if you want to check out the prompt. I'm doing this straight off the dome because it's very simple, especially when you add the foundational docs. It's super easy, and this is literally going to be like a 2-prompt process. So this first step here, just so you understand why I'm doing this, it's literally just to generate what's called a context profile for the specific ChatGPT window. So I said that I'm basically going to be a copywriter for this brand here, which sells gut relief products, right? So we already did all the research. I have the foundational docs created. I simply uploaded them and told it to gain context of everything within these documents, because if you don't have a proper understanding of your customer, you're never going to design a good quiz. Now, the next step in this process, after we have this ChatGPT window gain all the context, is we're actually going to upload a example quiz, all right? So I'm actually going to use the exact quiz I was showing you guys earlier from Bioma, and I literally just screenshotted every single individual step on this quiz, and now I'm going to upload it into ChatGPT, and once again, just have it analyze it. No action steps, just analyze it and let me know your thoughts. Alrighty, so I typed up this simple prompt here. If you want to pause the video and screenshot it, go for it. But essentially, I'm just feeding it those 3 principles of what makes a good quiz, along with some guidance of how to actually execute it. And now this is the output that we came up with, right? So as you can see, Gut Guardian quiz. Why hasn't your gut fully healed yet? Find out in 2 minutes. So the cool thing about quizzes is you essentially are hiding the sales process, right? All the call to actions on your ads, everything, it doesn't have to say, hey, buy my product, learn more, shop now. It can say, take the quiz, right? If you think of the level of invasiveness that a CTA has like that, significantly lower than something that's like, hey, shop now, buy now, etc. Now I'll read through a few questions here so you can understand kind of why I did it this way. Number 1, what's your biggest gut health goal right now? Now, the first question of your quiz is also the most important question in your quiz. And the reason why is because you never want to ask something that is extremely invasive or that is going against any particular social norms. For example, I know a lot of you are selling products specifically to women, especially older women. And as you know, social norm, it's very disrespectful if you ask an older woman what her age is. So what you can do is essentially a process that I like to call, well, not I like to call, it's a very famous marketer named Eugene Schwartz came up with this concept, but it's the concept of gradualization. And gradualization is exactly what it sounds like. You want to begin with something very non-invasive and slowly build your way up to more invasive questions, of course, in the context of a quiz, right? This is technically a copywriting term, but we want to apply to the quiz as well, right? And this first question here, you can see, what we're seeding here is that your gut health impacts mood, focus, and energy, which is one of the most important beliefs that a customer needs to have in order to buy. So like quiz funnels, guys, you shouldn't just be randomly selecting the questions that you ask or just like blindly swiping the top people. You should use the research that you have done on your market, because this is the real thing that can impact your conversion rate. So the first question we have, multiple choice: what is your biggest gut health goal right now? Reduce bloating, improve regularity, boost energy, or mood. Great. Next one, we have a slider, right? So you'll notice in the instructions I said I don't want to have more than 2 or 3, I can't remember, of the exact same format question in a row, because you want to keep people engaged and make sure they aren't passively clicking through the quiz. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do gut symptoms day-to-day life? So this is seeding urgency, right? Reframes gut issues as a quality of life problem. This is something that people don't just deal with and then they kind of are over. It affects every single aspect of their life. And this question can reinforce that and seed that belief. Let's look at another example here of one that actually handles objection, right? Multiple choice. When starting something new for your gut, how quickly do you expect to feel result? With a multiple choice question, pre-handles the objection: this took too long, right? Which is, once again, getting you one step closer to the sale, right? So of course you still want to have this on your sales page as an FAQ, or even on another part of your sales page. It doesn't have to be in the FAQ, but this is super, super valuable because you're able to get your customers so much closer to buying that by the time they land on a sales page, they're just ready to go. Quiz funnels are essentially the foreplay of of funnels. Here's another question here. So this is actually something I would change. I am not a fan of input questions in general, but let's look at this question. What's been your most frustrating experience with gut health products so far? So this is actually, you know how I talk about you don't want to make questions too invasive. You also don't want to make them too high perceived effort. And you'd be surprised, but actually typing out an answer is much higher perceived effort than, just selecting like yes or no or a multiple choice question. So this one is pre-handling the objection of like, I've tried everything. And the cool thing about running quiz funnels, I wasn't really intending to talk about this, but running quiz funnels and getting results, not to sound like too much like a fucking asshole, but it's relatively easy, right? I have literally had landing pages. I send traffic straight to a sales page. Literally just the act of me adding a quiz period. Quiz was 3 questions long. Just the fact that I added a quiz period increased the conversion rate. And there has seldom been a time where this has not happened. It's like quiz funnels, if you want a higher conversion rate, unless you're setting it up in the most retarded way possible, it's probably going to make you more money. It's probably going to increase your conversion. Not an absolute, of course, but it definitely does help a lot. But what you can do after you start getting data is you'll basically look through all of these questions and you'll be able to see the data for each of them. Like for this question, there's going to be like a 3% drop off. And then for this question, there's like a 1% drop off. And what you're really looking for is you're looking for a massive spike, because there's going to be drop off on every single question, at least 1%, right? But eventually you're going to come across a question. If this was like 1%, 2%, 1%, 1%, 2%, 4%, 1%, 1%, 2%, 0%, you want to ideally lock in on this question and find either a less invasive way to ask that question or remove the question entirely unless it is clearly adding some frictions. I want to launch quizzes with minimal friction and then add friction that qualifies the buyer even more. But initially you don't want to have a lot of friction because you just want to make sure the quiz works, period. But what you're going to do after you analyze your data is go and look at removing questions like this that do have like a little bit of a higher drop-off rate, right? The target completion rate that you should be aiming for, approximately 30%. So on average, for people that start the quiz, 30% should make it through the entire quiz and actually get to the sales page. That's a KPI, that's the number that you're looking for. So at this point, you know why quiz funnels are so fucking awesome. You know how to come up with the questions and how to actually build the funnel. Now, the next question is, how many questions should there actually be? Like, is there such a thing as too many questions? And the answer is yes, there definitely is a thing as too many questions, because eventually, if there's this massive drop off, right, with a funnel, quiz funnel is just another format. It's like a funnel in a funnel. If it gets so fucking minuscule, eventually there's going to be nobody to drop actually into your PDP and buy your shit, right? So there is a sweet spot, and the sweet spot, I think, is anywhere from 3 to 20 question. Obviously, this is a massive range. I think the sweet spot is typically around 8 to 12. But every question serves a purpose. You don't want to just have questions there just for the sake of having questions. It should do one of 3 things. It should act as a micro commitment, it should pre-handle objections, or it should be seeding belief. If it's not doing one of those 3 things, it ain't worth it. Now, the final thing I want to add here, guys, just so that you can milk even more of these quiz funnels, is when you get to the end, let's say you have a 12 question quiz, right? And you get to the end of that quiz, you basically want to be collecting their name and their email address to send them their personalized quiz results, right? So that 30% KPI that I had up here, this is really what you should be shooting for. It's going to be difficult to do at scale. If you can get it to like 25%, that's still quite good. But think about all the ways that you can remarket to people if you capture their name and email. At this point, they're so already already bought in that actually typing to get the quiz, to get their personalized results, this is where personalization actually does play a role, can be really helpful, because what you want to put them in after this is going to be a 5 to 7 email sequence, getting them to buy. And if you want to be a real fucking psychomaniac with the quiz, you will have custom email sequences based off of their answers that they had in the quiz in the first place. So if they responded that they are really, really against any kind of product with non-natural ingredients, you can specifically send them down an email sequence that is tackling how amazing the natural formula is for this particular product, right? Just as an example. Or if they say that the most important thing is speed and they don't actually care about the ingredients, right? If they want to have pharmaceuticals in the ingredient, that's fine. Then you'd send them to a different email workflow. So this is something that is super powerful. And overall, guys, that's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Go rip some fucking quiz funnels. They're absolutely destroying. And I know at least one of you watching this video is going to just start fucking printing. If not, take your existing quiz and turn it up another notch. So I hope y'all enjoyed. If you like this stuff and want to have some of my help actually building out these processes, you can always click the first link in the description to work with me a little bit more closely. Other than that, y'all, I'll see you in the next video and one more ads. Peace.